Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I'm working in my This Is Not a Book again. I think the last page I did was this one. This is not a book, this is a chainlet. I'm going to put all of these process videos onto a playlist. This is not a book playlist, so if you want to check them out, you're very welcome. So today, these are my little strings for a marker. Today I'm going to have a go at this one. So it's pages 45 and 46. Turn This Is Not a Book or other objects into characters by adding these items. So I've got a piece of paper here that I can cover the facing page with, because I want to just make it a little bit more robust because of what I have in mind for the previous page. So I'm going to do that. And then I've printed off these pictures of everyday objects. I'm going to draw out some more of these features because you've always got to think about the previous and following pages. I can't actually cut these out and use them. I thought about running them through my laminator or something, but I can't do that because I need this later on. So I'm going to draw out some spares of these on a separate sheet of paper and then collage them together onto this facing page. That's my plan at the moment, but as always things may morph a little bit as we go along. Right, nice long pair of scissors, that makes it easy to get a straight line, I find anyway. One of the best things about doing these types of books, these Kerry Smith books, is that you're just not precious about it at all. You just have fun, try things out, play around with stuff, because it's not, it's not a work of art. It's not expensive paper. Sometimes it's a bit frustrating when the paper's a bit rubbish, but you can get around it by prepping them first or whatever. Right, anyway, so that's that bit done. Put that out of the way. So these are my objects. I'll be needing to cut those out, and I just need to have a think about what size I need the features to be for these objects. I'm not going to actually use the toothbrush and the spoon because I just think they're too small. They're not really going to, it's just the way it ended up printing really. But I think these eyes are going to be too big for most of these objects. So I'm going to draw them a little bit smaller. To about that. Yeah, I'll do some like that. Just give myself a bit of choice. I'll do some a little bit bigger, but still significantly smaller than that. And I'll do some bigger again. I think that will give me enough choice. So that gives me a little selection. I need to row out the lines, but I'm going to leave that to dry for a little bit. So while that's happening, I'm going to cut my little shapes out. It's always easier to cut out a sort of internal hole while you've still got a big piece to play with. I've made the mistake too often of cutting out all around the outside and then having to cut out the little piece in the middle, and it's much more difficult. This makes it much easier to do it this way. Cut out the tricky bit first. Just finish cutting around the outside. Now, I have got to be a little bit careful because obviously this is, I mean, it's not really liquidy, but it is a wet medium, and I've used an inkjet printer, so it might move the ink and smudge my designs. I'm going to put them all a little bit on the wonk. I feel like I want something down there, but not a fit, is it? Yeah, that'll do. Right. Next thing I've got to do is cut out all these features, and I might try with doing some directly on as well, but now I'll have to wait till the medium's dry. Okay, so I'm cutting out. I'll whiz through that and come back to you in a minute. There, I've finished cutting out all the pieces. Some of them a little bit too small and fiddly to cut out, like these tiny eyes, so I'll just probably have a play around to see what they look like and then draw them directly on to the page. Some features I'll draw directly onto the page anyway, and a couple of things like these noses I'll probably colour in to match the colour of the character they're going to end up on. So this is going to be the fun part now. Trying to decide who gets what features. So that's probably about all I'm going to do to my little characters. Just added some little sort of textury marks and things, some little sort of marks around here to suggest a bit of movement. And then I'm going to add some matte medium over the whole thing to seal it all down and stop this kind of thing happening. I need to turn off the camera and have a bit of a think. Okay, so I've been away and had some lunch and had a little bit of a think, and I thought it was quite cute. I'll probably just leave that as it is, but I've just got this thing that I want to try painting around it. Try to make it look more as if they're all kind of part of the page. I don't know. But I don't know. White would make it more opaque. Yeah, I don't know what it is, I just think it's going to look better. Oh, not if I keep doing that, it won't. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit white as well. Yeah. I don't even know if the difference there is going to show that much on camera, but it just really is going to look a lot better, and I'm just going to kind of blend the white and the blue together on the page as I go along. Carefully go around all of the outlines so that the images look more bedded into the page. That's the only way I can describe what I mean. So I'm going to work my way through and do all of this. I don't think I need to do all of that on camera. I'm sure you don't want to sit and watch me doing that. I want to keep working my way through it, and I'll come back to you when I'm done. Probably once I've gone over with paint, I'll give another coat of matte medium and then possibly a little bit of shadowing around the characters. So that'll take me quite a long time to sort of carefully paint around all of these shapes, but I shall probably quite enjoy it. As I say, no need for you to watch through that. I shall see you back here in a minute, bye-bye. Right, what I've done is I've finished painting around all of the shapes, painted in the background, left it quite sort of rough, not a completely even coverage, so a mixture of the blue and the white, because I just think the variation makes it look a bit more lively and interesting. And then I've given the whole thing, you can hear the difference in the sound actually, I've given the whole thing a coat of transparent gesso, which will protect what's already there, so I can do what I like over the top of it, and also gives it a little bit of a tooth. So now I can use coloured pencils on it, because I couldn't have used coloured pencils on top of the matte medium, it's too shiny. So now this is very typical of how little projects like this that I thought were going to take 10 minutes tend to take on a mind of their own and go in all kinds of directions I wasn't expecting, but of course that is half the fun of it. I'm not going to keep filming that. I'm going to come back to you at the end because it's going to get pretty boring. I'll see you in a while. Right, so I've sort of finished all my colouring in, and I'm just doing some sort of, you know, really rough scribbly lines around them, and I think it's all helped to make them look more kind of, I don't know, part of the page, and more sort of, I don't know, interesting, just interesting to my eye. More scribbly around there. There, so I think that's me done with these, really. I thought it might be fun to think of little names for them, and I might write those in later, but I need some time to think of them. So that's that page finished for today. So that's, oh, I've painted right over that. It's page 45 and 46 in my This Is Not a Book. I shall add that to the This Is Not a Book playlist on my channel, so if you want to catch up on any of the other pages, you're very welcome. And thanks very much for watching today, and I'll see you again soon for the next one. Bye bye.